Live in high definition from KVAK TV in Bakersfield. This is Eyewitness News at noon.
Let's go right out now to a brush fire burning out of control near Simi Valley, and the 23 freeway is also closed. The fire broke out early this morning and has burned more than 1,300 acres. Mandatory evacuation orders are now in place as thousands of homes are being threatened, including the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Well, welcome into Eyewitness News. I'm Allie Triolo. Within the past 30 minutes, a small brush fire erupted near the mouth of the canyon. I just spoke to CHP Officer Robert Rodriguez. He tells me that officials did shut down the area just for about 15 minutes for cleanup, but this should be reopened any moment. Now, again, we will keep you updated with that. Meanwhile, Kern County is dealing with wind speeds as strong as 70 miles per hour today. Wind advisories are in place for residents. The Kern County Fire Department tweeted out safety tips for those dealing with the dust. Be sure to use low beams when on the road, and be sure to drive slowly. Also be mindful of debris and truly just avoid going outside if at all possible. Now, right now, our own Tyra Majors is live with a look at that blowing dust. Tyra, what are you seeing out there?
Thank you for sharing those tips, Allie. Very important for people who are taking to the streets today. But if you look over the bluffs, you can just see how bad that air quality is. You can see that hazy layer of air. It's so dusty out here. You want to make sure you're wearing a mask like I am and some sort of protective eyewear, whether that be goggles or sunglasses, because you're going to need it. And if you're driving today, like many people are, make sure those hands are on the steering wheel, both hands, because when we were on our way over here, we felt our news card just shaking up a little bit. So make sure when you're driving, you're being aware of other drivers and even pedestrians. We saw some people walking outside today, and in some places in town, we've gotten tons of video from our viewers, and they can hardly see while they're driving, so make sure of that as well. So try to limit any outdoor activities you may have today, because you don't want to be outside, and if you do, make sure you are wearing protective gear, whether that's a mask or goggles. Keep in mind for tomorrow, it's Halloween. A lot of kids are going to be out trick-or-treating. Make sure they're also protected. Now, this advisory is only supposed to last until about 6 p.m., and I'm sure our own Aaron Perlman has more on that. But earlier he said today that the wind speeds are suspected to slow down by later this evening. So, Aaron, I'll let you elaborate more on that.
Let's do that, Tyra, and you're absolutely right. They're going to start dying down by 6 o'clock, and what's important with that note is that by tomorrow, things will get much better for trick-or-treaters, but today's the issue. That air quality warning for the San Joaquin Valley, I've upped it quite a bit here for us since this morning. In areas of the red, that's where your concerns are, and that's going to be at all these meters where we monitor everything. Even down in Southern California where the fires are at, smoke issues ablaze down south, creating unhealthy air quality. But here right in Kern County, that's the story. In fact, you had a live image coming in from the Skycam right by where Tyra is at, and it doesn't appear too bad in that area, but that's, of course, looking up to above. If we were to look at areas a little bit lower, then we see a bit better conditions. But you can see today, I put your air quality unhealthy for everyone. In fact, there's a better picture. You can see the dust just picking up off of the bluffs. That looks miserable, doesn't it? Well, here's the thing. The winds are going to remain very strong until 5 tomorrow morning in our mountain areas, coming around 50 miles per hour. We've had some consistent issues. It's creating some bad wildfire conditions, and the word is in the mountain areas, Tehachapi not reporting. They've had some power outages. Some of you facing a lot of that issues. The wind speeds sustained in those mountain areas over the next several hours going to be around 20, 30 mile per hour wind speeds all the way until tonight when things begin to die down, which is very interesting to look at. Take a look at the wind speeds in these areas. It's going to continue to be very strong coming out of the east, southeast in a lot of these mountain spots. And in just a moment, as we have wildfire conditions up near areas around Stallion Springs, I want to take you into this section where the winds are going to continue to get stronger. As you can already see, 30 mile per hour sustained winds, the gusts up to about 40, 45 is what we're looking at. We'll have more on the timing of when this is going to end and the rest of the day in just a few more minutes. Allie.
All right, Aaron, thank you for that. Right now, we are staying on top of the Easy Fire that is burning in Simi Valley. A press conference underway by officials. Let's take a listen.
Road. in Thousand Oaks. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chad Cook. I'm the incident commander for the Easy Fire, and I'm going to give you a quick update on a few things that we have taking place in our tactics and strategy that we are currently using in concert with what the sheriff just talked about for our community risk that's out there. Right now, our response this morning brought in several agencies to handle the structure threat and the immediate life threat. Our plan of action out there is to get people out of harm's way initially and protect valuable resources and the structures and infrastructures that surround the communities of Wood Ranch in the Simi Valley area, the areas of Moore Park, Sunset Hills in the city of Thousand Oaks, and several unincorporated areas that surround the county and those cities that are in there. The fire outflanked us very rapidly today, pushed by those 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. We did experience gusts up to 65 miles an hour this morning, which made long-range spotting very, very dangerous and also quickly outpaced the initial attack resources. Our fire chief mentioned earlier that we were prepared for this. We had several resources on standby, including some of our state cooperators, local agencies that were able to stand up equipment, and we were ready since last night with the projected winds. We work very closely with the National Weather Service on being prepared for these type of events, and our actions right now are to stay engaged on the flanks of the fire and keep it right now within our box. Our current box for the incident is the Highway 118 corridor on the north side. The east side of the fire is the Madera Road area of Simi Valley into Wood Ranch. On the southern end of the fire, it is the actual area of Madera Road where it comes into Sunset Hills Boulevard through the 23 corridor. And on the far west side, we are using the 23 freeway, again, over to Olson Road and up to Sunset Hills Boulevard. We have resources all actively engaged in structure protection and life safety measures. We feel we have a good contingency plan out in front of it in the event fire does cross.
So right now you were just listening to fire officials out of Ventura County address the Easy Fire burning in Simi Valley that is threatening a lot of residents in Wood Ranch, Moore Park, Thousand Oaks, and Sunset Hills, as well as that Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. So far, that fire has burned more than 1,300 acres. We'll keep you updated with the latest. And more than 500,000 Californians are still without electricity today. PG&E cut power in 30 counties in an effort to prevent more wildfires. Last night, 800 customers in Bakersfield, Lebec, and Arvin had their power cut off. The utility company says customers were warned they may be without power until Friday. Right now, more than 11,000 SoCal Edison customers are still without power. The areas mainly impacted are Bear Valley Springs, Stallion Springs as well. There are 22,000 additional customers still at risk of having their power shut off. Those areas include Botfish, Kernville, Lake Isabella, Stallion Springs, Tejon Ranch, Tehachapi, Wofford Heights, just to name a few. Be sure to go to SoCal Edison's website for a complete list of those cities under consideration. All right, take a look at this. Power is out for some residents in southwest Bakersfield. A power line is down in the old Stockdale neighborhood on Mount Shasta Drive. Fire crews went to treat the live wire around 10 this morning after it fell into the front yard of someone's home. Residents are still waiting for PG&E to come and turn their power back on. And due to the power being out, some stoplights are also being affected in this area. Lights are out near Ash Road, El Rio Drive, and Stockdale. Be mindful today when you are on those roadways. And due to these planned power outages and poor air quality, multiple schools across Kern County are closed. There are no classes at El Tajon Middle School, Valley Oaks Charter, and all Tehachapi Unified School Districts. The Kern High School District also is recommending all schools cancel outdoor activities today. Right now, Fraser Mountain High School and Fraser Park School are still open. For the latest, go to our website, bakersfieldnow.com. And again, you can also download our mobile app. It's free. You can find that in the App Store or Google Play. Coming up next on Eyewitness News, California on fire. More updates on those flames growing out of control across the state. And the Easy Fire sends residents and their animals running. The dramatic video coming out of Southern California.
And the question is, will this continue to be like this again tomorrow? What does your trash can meter have to say? Today, it's definitely a level 5. We'll take a deeper look of where that trash can will be tomorrow and upcoming weekend next.